Welcome to Atom, a digital advertising marvel.
The world of advertising and marketing is about to be utterly transformed again. Obviously, the move to digital has been huge over the last 20 years, and some of us are well used to change and embrace it. The reality is that digital advertising represented perhaps 1% of marketing budgets back in 2001. In my Dell Technologies days, I can remember just maxing out at those levels very quickly, and we were at the very forefront worldwide of digital spends. You couldn't spend more than 1%. 22 years later, depending on what report you read and obviously what industry, digital spend is more like 90%, and so much has changed over the years it would take another article to document those. But this change coming that I am talking about is very different. This change is more related to the tasks and activities of traditional agencies, and it relates to artificial intelligence. And I, for one, really did not see the level to which it was going to change things and how powerful it really is. I used to think of myself as a predictor of trends, but I really didn't see AI making its way into the creative world of advertising. I dismissed it really as something more so for analytics. To a certain extent, we have all become used to AI working away in the background. From a consumer perspective, we are utterly familiar with it. For agencies in particular, it's obvious with customer targeting, and if most analytical people were being honest, they would admit that really the algorithm is doing the work. It's just a reality. In spite of all the campaign work and inputs of what we feel like the customer might like, etc., and all the data we have collected, we always tick the box that says allow the software to search for customers outside of the targeting limits. So we are familiar with that. And we turn a blind eye to what happens after we press publish. Most advertising professionals might talk a good game in regards AI, but I'm not certain that they all have really considered what it all means for their job and the jobs of those around them. I, for one, definitely did not. Wix and Shopify started to open my eyes 6 or 7 years ago. Essentially, they made building a website simple. I could do it with zero programming, and I did. Simple websites that worked. The days of having to deal with difficult software programmers, gone. I won't talk about HubSpot, Intuit, MailChimp, Canva, or others for now. I'm not name-dropping companies here. I'm not even talking about the ones that make profiling better, analytics simple, media buying effective, optimization of web pages, etc. I'm just saying that these companies and countless others are a significant part of how a marketer might work nowadays. They simply were not there 10 years ago. But what I am suggesting now is that there are tools available that in 5 years, if not far sooner, are going to radically transform how agencies operate from a creative execution perspective. Creativity has always been a huge part of what agencies do. My agency before Atom was called Acorn, and our pitch was really about creativity with results. So we focused on delivering results by measuring and testing everything we did. It worked, and we helped businesses grow profitably. Most agencies would talk up their creativity as a huge selling factor. Having a brilliant creative director is a huge plus for agencies. And up until now, the creative and strategy was the element that really technology could only attempt to touch, but they would never get close to. Now it feels very, very different. We are in the infancy of the AI revolution. My new agency is only 2 months old. Already I have sought help with ChatGPT AI for a tagline and some website copy. And it was a good conversation. I might even say it was a brainstorming session with just me and the AI without having to be nice about crap ideas. I got a Dolly OpenAI to draw an illustration. It took time, but it got there, and it was damn good. And I have to say, it didn't have eyes full of contempt for me when I said I needed one more amend. I used 11 labs to record a voiceover, and perhaps that's what opened my eyes entirely or forced me to wake up a little more. I also played around with it here. Worth a listen. It was incredibly impressive. What's more, we had to change a voiceover for a different commercial where we didn't want to bring the actor back in to re-record, so we trained the software on the voice, and it completed the task perfectly. This technology is not new, but the accessibility and ease of use really is. Google is launching a music equivalent software, and I believe Facebook are close with a video version of DALL-E. I will repeat and say that this is extremely early days from a usage perspective, but already the results are extraordinarily impressive. We are in the 1.0 phase now. My sense is this change will have a far bigger effect than the initial movement from drawing on paper to graphic design on computers. I'm not so on in years to remember that, but I suspect it wasn't an easy change for some. I can imagine people saying that the computer will never ever offer what the hand can in terms of an original look. Alas, AI will remove certain jobs entirely. I had heard this before, but I just couldn't see it. Copywriters, graphic designers, and analytical jobs are going to change. Sorry, they are going to be transformed. The output will also be transformed, and the capability will be phenomenal. I sense filmmakers will become the new graphic designers, and most every graphic designer will have to become far more proficient in filming simply because the computer will do their current job, though video will rapidly be taken over by AI too. And for now, I'm not even going to mention VR or AR. I predict, though, that agencies will have to become incredibly lean people-wise. For a small startup company, it's not too far-fetched to suggest that in a few years, they will have a conversation with an AI, let's call it Adam, shameless plug. And Adam will do everything from creating a brand to demand generation right to selling and operations. No advertising agency in the traditional sense, no people interaction, all AI. And perhaps it will only be those with larger budgets than can afford people. However, even that is naive in imagining that the AI won't be as original. But I'm going to draw the line at that for now and finish on that note. Original ideas, and to a lesser degree, strategy, will be where it is at as the execution will become more and more automated. Perhaps, I'm not certain. It remains to be seen. Originality at its very core is always the holy grail, and that requires bravery from both client and agency. Otherwise, just get the AI to do it will be said often. I think these tools are nothing to be feared, but it would be remiss to dismiss them as limited or not there yet. They are. Embracing the new technology will be key, and striving for originality using these tools is perhaps the one consistent left and maybe the last stand for advertising.